Hey guys, Mike and Sarah here with Morrison's Outdoor Adventures, and we have some exciting products to show you tonight.
Yeah, so unboxing some stuff here. We got a huge shipment from Sunex Tools. So you can see, and you've seen a lot of our pictures, we've been wearing a lot of their swag. Way back, I did some tech tips with Southern Four-Wheel Drive Association with Sunex Tools on like torque wrenches and stuff like that. So we, way back several years back, talked about field expedient repair kits, and they're a major tool manufacturer. So I opened up that conversation. They are excited to see what they can do to kind of support the off-road community. So they've sent us some tools to start kind of testing and putting through the paces and see, you know, if we can put together one of those field expedient repair kits and some other stuff that you know, they're starting to make kind of for the off-road adventure market. So we're going to check some of that out, and we're going to work our way through unboxing some of this stuff. So let's see what we got.
All right. You have a knife?
I do.
All right, so first box, Mike's going to open and see what we got. It says it on the side, so I already know.
Well, maybe. Got all kinds of other stuff in here, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It says quality. All right, this is the first thing. Can you see it? What is it, Mike?
It's a torque wrench. So, you know, things like torquing lug nuts, or if you have to work on something underneath the hood or in your suspension, requires specific torque settings. You know, Ugga-Duggas, it's not the best unit of measurement, especially with newer vehicles, right? We don't want to over torque stuff, so carrying a torque wrench is super important. One thing that Sunex Tools is known for, one of the couple of different things, but it's torque wrenches and kind of their knowledge of torque specs and stuff like that. So I know they sent us a couple of torque wrenches, but this is one of them here, and we will get a chance to kind of check that out and see what we can come up with.
All right, I'm gonna sit over here. Oh, what's this?
All right.
80 pieces.
Next thing is a 3/8 SAE and metric impact socket set. So this has everything from your torques, extensions, wobbles, deep sockets, shallow sockets, and you know, it's probably the most common that you're going to carry on the trail, because 3/8 is typically what you're going to carry the most, your 3/8 ratchet drives and your 3/8 tools and stuff like that. So we wanted to check out some of those. I personally love carrying wobble sockets. I carry wobble sockets more than I carry, or universal sockets, right? Some people call them universal sockets, but I carry those more than I carry just normal deep well and stuff like that. Just because I find I can use them and I can get to those kind of hard to reach places with them a little bit easier. But one of the things we want to look at is vehicle specific kits, right? There's no point, like for us, you know, driving Toyotas, sometimes we only need metric. For those of you in Jeeps or Fords, right, maybe you need some SAE and metric stuff. So we're going to kind of take a look at that and get a chance to kind of check these out. But I use a lot of impact tools, and impact sockets are important. You know, I've been guilty of using just standard sockets. So we're going to test out some of the impact sockets, because unfortunately I have had a few sockets explode on me. So we'll check that out. See what's in this box. What you got in there, Sarah?
I don't know. Let's look. Oh, it's jack stands. 3-ton aluminum jack stands.
So one of the requests I've had for a while is a jack stand that works well off-road. Now, Sunex makes a lot of different jack stands, so we're going to check that out and see, you know, what's going to be the best jack stand for off-road, or maybe something needs to be designed. You know, it's always, you can slide a spare tire underneath the vehicle or something like that if you need to. But if a vehicle's on a high lift jack and you're working around it, or even a bottle jack or something like that, it'd be nice to have a jack stand.
These are lightweight and they're only 10 pounds.
Yeah, and that was kind of the big thing, is some of the jack stands are big and bulky and heavy. So, you know, we kind of asked about this, and they said, you know, let's give this one a shot. But they are ultralight, under 10 pounds, and they do hold up to 3 tons, right? So we're going to test those out and see what we come up with on those.
Box number 3. light. Woo! Bottle jack, 6-ton bottle jack.
Yeah, so again, one of the other things that Sunex is known for is kind of their jacks, right? They make all kinds of floor jacks, bottle jacks, all kinds of different stuff. And, you know, even though I use a high lift jack a lot and stuff like that, sometimes it's not ideal. And we want a good bottle jack. I remember when I used to drive Land Rovers and stuff that they came with these really nice hydraulic bottle jacks in them. And it was always notorious that they'd get stolen out by the previous owner or something like that. So I wanted to try to find, you know, a good bottle jack that would be easy to fit in the vehicle. Again, lightweight, not heavy. You know, I'm not a big fan of like the scissor jacks and stuff like that come in vehicles now. So, and again, cost efficient, right? And it's got to be able to be small and be packed up tight. Typically, I'd like for it to fall into where a factory jack or something would sit. So 6-ton bottle jack from Sunex. We'll see how that one does. All right, starting to get into the bigger boxes now.
That's partial. There. Ooh, what are those?
All right, so Pry Bars, I call them lady slippers, right? But these are great tools in the shop, but they're also great tools to carry on the trail. Pry bars, a lot of times, you know, you can carry like a standard pry bar and stuff like that, but with that wide flat head, it's not always ideal. These have a pry bar end that you can get in there and it's kind of rolled so you can get some good leverage, but these work extremely well if you have to line up bolt holes or you have to shift something into place like a bumper or something like that on the trail, because they have the rounded end that you can get in there and kind of work it into place. So this is a 4-piece set, so it has different size of the pry bars or lady slippers. So again, another cool tool that we're going to check out. I think it's got a 6-inch, a 12-inch, a 16-inch, and a 20-inch, right? Now, maybe you don't need to carry all 4 of those on the trail, so we just pick the right one, put it in our FER, or Field Expedient Repair Kit. The other ones go in our toolbox at home. So we'll kind of look at those and see. I'm a big fan of them, but see which is the right one. Which one do you need to carry on the trail, or which ones, right? All right. So,
Oh, those are cool.
what do they do?
I don't know, but they're cool. Hold on, let me read it. Oh, you pick up stuff with them.
Okay, they're
Pick
cool.
up your
They're red, so they're cool.
They're
guys.
cool. You use them to pick up stuff when you lose it, right? In
Some of it,
tiny
yeah.
in tiny places.
Some of it, yeah. So I kind of saw this on their website and I was like, hey, you know, I would like to kind of try this out and see how it works. I carry little magnetic grabbers and stuff like that, but this kit right here, so it's got a magnetic grabber, which is nice, right? If you got to grab a bolt or something that fell down to a skid plate, or you've got to fish something out that's magnetic. But remember, some of your vehicles are getting some aluminum body parts and stuff like that, so the magnetic may not be 100%. But what this does have on both sides, so you've got a bit driver, right? So you can put little bits in there like Phillips head bits, flat head bits, Allen heads, all that kind of stuff, and you can reach way down into a place that you normally wouldn't reach, right? So for those of you that are running like alu-cabs and 4-wheel campers and different types of camper shells on the back of your truck, that might be a good piece of kit to get into some of those hard to reach places, right? Or if you've got to get down next to the motor on some of these newer vehicles, that may help you do that. And then on the other side, you've got a 1/4-inch drive, so any sockets or anything like that. Basically kind of like a long screwdriver, but you can put a socket on it, right? So I wanted to kind of test those out and see what we could come up with as far as that. Again, you know, a lot of times we're having to work our way in around something on a vehicle. So see what we can do about testing that out. And they're red, so you know I'm going to like them. All right, another torque wrench. This is a 1/2-inch torque wrench. And probably going to look at doing a whole video kind of talking about torque wrenches, because again, you know, when we're on the trail and stuff like that, you know, ugga-duggas aren't a good idea. We've had some mistakes come from that on the trail, where we've had people shear off lug nuts, or their lug nuts become stretched, the threads become stretched because they're not torqued appropriately, and you just hit them with the impact, right? So I think looking at some of those torque spec settings, especially on newer vehicles, right? Newer vehicles with aluminum and all this different stuff on them, and forged alloy and stuff like that, we got to really pay attention to those torque specs when we're working on suspension components and such. So probably going to look at doing a whole video on torque specs and torque wrenches and kind of the thought process behind that, why it's so important, because I think there's some misnomers. There at least was for me that I learned from Sunex. So hopefully we can kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so we're not just going to do this one video and be done, guys, okay? So we're actually, well, I say we, I mean Mike, is actually going to talk about the different tools and in depth and how they can be used on the trail and in the shop. Yeah,
because our ultimate goal is to kind of put together a field expedient repair kit, because I think that's something that's really lacking in the market right now. I know there's some tool kits out there, but it's not a one size fits all, right? So if we can figure out how to put together and piece together some of these kits so that we have the right stuff when we need it, right? We can probably shed quite a bit of weight. I know, at least for me, my tools, which now, we're guiding customers, so I'm having to carry more than most people, but our tools are a significant amount of weight that we have to carry. This pallet that we have right here, I mean, we're talking 240, 250, 280 pounds, somewhere around there, I think it weighed in at. And I mean, these are tools, and we're not even talking about ratchets and impacts or anything like that yet. So just kind of thinking about that and how we can shed some of that weight or make some of these field repairs a whole lot easier. So I'm gonna put this back behind there because we're gonna hide something for a little bit. I don't want to show it just yet.
So when Mike's getting the next box, make sure that if you haven't subscribed to our channel, that you go ahead and subscribe and like and share with all your friends and family and help us grow our YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah, growing our YouTube channel is a big deal for us because we want to continue to share information with you guys. We know not all of you can get out to one of our classes and learn and that type of thing. So,
oh, these are neat. I really like these.
And what are they?
These are, I want to open them, but I know that's for another video. So this is like a tray that sticks to your hood or wherever you're working because it's magnetic. And then you can like put little drill bits and stuff in them, right?
Yes.
So then you don't lose it and they're all in one place in this nice little tray.
Yeah, I use these a lot in shops when we're tearing stuff down so I can put hardware, bolts and stuff so I don't lose it. Again, it's getting kind of hard on modern vehicles. You have aluminum hoods and stuff like that, so the magnetic doesn't necessarily work. But being able to store your tools in these on the trail when you're working on vehicles, huge. I can't tell you how many times I've lost a 10 millimeter socket, right, or a nut or a bolt because we're in the dust or the mud or the grass or something. So we're kind of looking at the best options for that, which leads me to the next piece, right? And this is new from Sunex. This is a 8x10 flexible magnetic mat. So it has magnets built into it and sewn into it, but it is a flexible magnetic mat, right? And it's pretty heavy duty. So I think these are gonna be a good option for stuff on the trail. If you've watched some of our off-road tips of the day, you've seen some of the different ones that I carry. But I kind of wanna see, how well something like this is really gonna hold up to the rigors of trail life, right? In a shop, yeah, I mean, it's on a 4-post lift or something like that, or it's on your toolbox. But if we're throwing it around in a vehicle, bouncing around, how's it going to hold up? So, but these are definitely one of those things that I kind of want to check out. And just so happens, if you see us at an event, they gave us quite a few. We might just give 1 or 2 away. Oh gosh.
That's heavy.
So, box-in wrenches. There's been a lot of kind of controversy on box-in wrenches and non-slip wrenches and stuff on the internet now. Okay, whatever, Snap-on versus Icon versus, whoever. But box-in wrenches on the trail are super important, right? And it's one of those things where it's when you need that tool, when you need that box-in wrench, you need that specific size, right? It comes in really handy. But, realistically, I don't have a tool truck that I can jump on and go buy a set of $300 or $400 box-in wrenches. So I wanted to see if we could find a nice roll-up kit, right? I don't want it in foam or anything like that. I want it in one of those cases that we can roll up and have all the different sizes up through some of the bigger stuff, right? Like 32, 34 that we could do like CV axle nuts and stuff like that with, not just, the standard 8 through 19 millimeter. So that's where we got this kit right here. And it is a roll-up, canvas roll-up pouch. and being canvas, I feel like it's probably going to hold up pretty well. So I'm excited to kind of check that out. And this is their V-notch. So it's got like a groove in the head, so it is kind of a non-slip design. We're not going to test it against other ones because they're going to do great. I can already tell that. But I'm just excited for the ability to have a tool roll that we can carry around on the trail.
They're heavy too. Get my workout in.
Yeah. So, little air body saw. So I'm interested in looking at, you know, a lot of us run like ARB twin air compressors. A lot of us have these different really high pressure air tanks now. So I'm interested in looking at some air tools that we can carry, and very specific ones. Now this probably isn't one that I would carry on the trail, but these come really handy. You'll probably see us as we continue to kind of work on David, our Land Cruiser, using this quite a bit because it's nice for trimming out fender flares, trimming out for bumpers. You know, a lot of vehicles now, they have plastic that you have to trim out for bumpers, and these work really well. And they don't consume a ton of air, but they definitely do a great job as far as cutting really clean lines on vehicles if you need to. We've got a little bit of rust on David we got to trim out, and I'll probably use this to trim that rust out. And then we can kind of go back and patch it because it's like a reciprocating saw, but it runs off of air, but like a jigsaw because you can cut out really intricate designs. So interested to kind of check that out.
This is super cute. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it's so cute.
Yeah. So another thing that I kind of asked them about, this one, I'm going to go ahead and open it so that you can kind of see, but this is a 38-piece bit set. Yeah. So the bit set, what we run into, some of these vehicles, right, or not vehicles, but a lot of this aftermarket stuff that we're working on now, it's got some specific things, like it's got a 4 and 5 millimeter Allen, it's got some torque stuff on it, but having these little bit sets really makes it easy to kind of work on that vehicle. So we're going to compare this with another one of Sunex's little toolkits that has some sockets and stuff in it. But I think these are going to be great toolkits if you're running something like an ALU cab or an ALU cabin, or some of these things that use a lot of 8mm hardware and 6mm hardware and button head bolts and stuff like that. Especially since it's got a little narrow bit driver that you can get into a little narrow area and work around some stuff. So
I just love that it has the little case, and it's so cute.
Yeah.
I'll just get tools because they're cute.
No, you're gonna have to learn how to use them. Sarah doesn't know it yet, but she's gonna have to learn how to use all of these tools now that we have them.
Pretty sure that's when I got married and had 2 boys. Right? Just kidding. I'll learn. Alright, what's this?
What you got?
Socket set.
So here we got a quarter drive magnetic impact socket set. Again, it's got a wobble adapter with it, or a universal adapter. So kind of looking at the magnetic side of thing again, being able to use that to get to some of those hard to reach places when you're pulling a bolt out, especially in the field. Last thing you want to do is drop a bolt if you're in mud or grass or something like that. So having that magnetic attachment is going to be nice. Ooh, I didn't know they sent this, but we've got a little 1/4 inch torque wrench, right? So for some of the smaller stuff like your campers and stuff that are on your vehicle, we have seen where some of this stuff vibrates loose over time, and they do have recommended torque settings. And some of those are pretty low torque settings, so these little 1/4 inch drives may be something nice that you can keep in the back in those campers to make sure everything stays torqued down appropriately and your camper doesn't start doing damage shaking around. All right.
That's cool.
Huh?
That's cool.
Yeah, so I wanted to try this out too. So you see a lot of detail guys and stuff like that carry these. This is an air vacuum, but it's also a vacuum and blow. So it's nice for cleaning out dust, both sucking it out or blowing out dust or blowing out air filters and stuff like that. But I want to see if we can run this off an air compressor, right? Because this would be a good option to carry in your toolkit or your camp kit. It's very small, right? It's not a big kit that you have to carry. So if we can do this instead of carrying like an 18 volt deal, especially for me, like if we go camping on the Outer Banks and the beach or something like that, the sand gets everywhere. I want an easy way to clean that out without having to carry an 18-volt vacuum. So I'm gonna peek in it real fast, but you guys will have to kind of hang around and see what we come up with and see how much air, see if maybe we can do an ARB twin on that. All right, so here we've got very similar to the 3/8 kit earlier. We've got a 1/4-inch drive kit, the SAE and metric, but it's got all the wobble attachments and everything with it, extensions, deep well, shallow sockets. So again, you know, if you're doing any type of impact work, impact wrench or anything like that, it's important to have impact sockets, right? Make sure you're using the right tool for the right job. I think if I remember right, looking at these, I was interested in these because some of the shallow sockets are like the nano sockets. They're really short. So if you're getting into a tight area on the vehicle, it's really nice to have access to that. So we'll be kind of playing around with that too.
While Mike is opening the next box, I just want to let you guys and girls know, if you like the swag that we're wearing, Sunex shirts, they have a couple that have the nice red patch thing on the side of the sleeve. Look below in the description for the link and check it out. They have the 1/4 length shirts like Mike's wearing, and then we also have a long sleeve shirt. They have nice beanies, and then my favorite, because I freeze all the time, is their hoodie, and their hoodie is so soft and I'm in love with it. I still have my old Sunex hoodie from several years ago that I still wear at least once a week, but now I have the brand new Sunex hoodie too that is so much better than the old one. So look below in the link, in the description for the link, and check out the Sunex swag, guys.
Yeah, so this right here, not necessarily something that we would carry on the trail, right? This is more for on the lift, but we're seeing it more and more, especially in some of the shops that I help out at when I'm not training, is these under hoist support stands, right? They're adjustable. You know, you got a big camper on the back of it and you throw it up on a lift. They're kind of wobbly. So we're going to look at these and kind of how they work and that type of thing. So again, not really so much for the trail, but definitely something that we're going to be using in the shop. All right, this last item that we are going to pull out. So a lot of you have asked me questions about carrying one of these on the trail. Do I carry one? Should you carry one? That type of thing. And well, I've been reticent with the ones that are on the market to carry one, just because, again, we're looking at kind of weight. But you know, it's just because I'm not interested in carrying it doesn't mean that you guys won't. And I am seeing more and more on the trail. So I'm going to test it out and probably going to eat my own words because I've seen a few people use them and they do come in really handy. But that's an off-road jack, right? I know there's a lot on the market, but again, thinking about Sunex Tools, right? They are known for their jacks. We talked about that earlier with the bottle jacks, the jack stands, and their torque wrenches and stuff. That's one of the things that they are known for. They make a lot of jacks for other companies, big name brands. So I'm interested to check out their off-road jack and just see exactly how useful can we make it on the trail. You know, again, we're not going to take this thing, or we're not going to take this thing on trail 15 wheeling with it, right? If we need to change a tire, but certainly in an overland rig or something like that, where you may have to make some repairs or change a tire, or leave it in your tow rig. So I'm kind of interested to see how exactly that kind of fits into our world and how we use it. And obviously at the end of the day, the safety aspect of it is huge in comparison to like a high lift jack or something like that. So we're excited to test theirs out. This is a new one for them. But again, like I said, you know, it's one of the things that Sunex is known for is their jacks, right along with their torque wrenches and jack stands. So that's our unboxing, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be using some of these tools and kind of let you know what we come up with. You know, I'm sure we're going to be impressed. Sunex tools have always been impressive to me, and they're super helpful. And again, they support the four-wheel drive community in the off-road world quite a bit. They supported us at Southern Four-Wheel Drive Association. So I'm sure we're going to be super impressed with it. But tune in for those videos to kind of see us using it. And we have a few things right now that are on back order that we're waiting on. that they said, you know, they're just selling so fast it's hard for them to keep their hands on it. So we'll check that out, and we'll let you guys know when it comes in.
Yep. So we hope everyone has a good night, and stay tuned to our future videos, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel, like it, watch it, and share it with everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.
Bye, guys.